He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, my God and my shield, in whom I trust. For surely He will save you from the foulest snare, and from the deadly pestilence as well. He will cover over you with His feathers, and there under His wings you will find peace, and His faithfulness will be your shield. Fear the terror of the nighttime, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 may fall at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only see, you will only observe when judgment comes. For He commands His angels concerning you to guard you wherever you may go, to be with you and lift you in their hands, so that you won't strike your foot against a stone. Well, if you make the Most High your dwelling, even the Lord who is my refuge, and surely no great harm will befall you, no disaster will come there near your home. For He commands His angels concerning you to guard you wherever you may go, to be with you and lift you in their hands, so that you won't strike your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra, and trample upon the serpent's head. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra, and trample upon the serpent's head. Because He loves me, says the Lord, I will rescue Him. I will protect Him, for He knows my name. He will call on me and I will answer. will be with him always, and I will honor him. And with long, long, long life, I will satisfy him with long life. With long, long, long life, I will show him my salvation. With long, long, eternal life, I will satisfy him with long life. With long, long, eternal life, I will show him my salvation. With long, long, long life, I will satisfy him with long life. My country,
okay, we're having a little issue right at the start here. That was not supposed to happen.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty. Of thee I sing praise to the Lord.
Okay, well, that was an excellent way to start here. I don't know what happened with all that. I think I have an idea, but sorry about that. God bless you guys. In Jesus' mighty name. Today we're going to continue on in this series covering your celebrities in occult Hollywood to royal family bloodlines. So, without further ado, let's dive into it. Starting us out on the list is Hugh Grant, actor Hugh Grant, and he can be seen here with Queen Elizabeth, for he is ninth cousin once removed. And you can see that Rolling Stone magazine chose to place an egg over the Queen's eye. I wonder why they did that, you know? I wonder. Such a mystery. It really is a mystery. Next, we have Mr. Grant doing the vow of silence, sign of Hippocrates, of course, keeping silence in the occult. We got a lot to cover, so we're just going to kind of breeze through some of the early stuff here. Here we can see him doing the Hakini Mudra. And Hakini Mudra means power or rule. And you may have noticed at this point in the research or in the videos that I've been putting out that a lot of occult Hollywood likes to throw up yoga and tantric mudras. It is what it is. Perhaps we can explain that by the fact that Crowley himself was an adept in yoga. I mean, he knew something like 14 different disciplines of it, wrote books on it. And beyond that, I mean, the New Age itself is simply, they just borrow from whatever system may work. Now, you may think, oh, come on, I've seen people that do that before. They're not in the Illuminati. Well, don't be so quick to say such things, you know. Your entire Hollywood cast, and I include every form of, you know, well, we started out with T.D. Jakes. We got Steve Harvey there. So sometimes TV preachers, right? Musicians, actors, even news anchors like to throw this up. It's one of the subtle ways. You're going to take note when they throw up devil horns or stick their tongue. If Johnny Carson did that, it'd be a little bit maybe alarming for folks. But this is perfectly acceptable. And they're telling you that they rule over you. Oh, it's so fun, you know. As you look through this, you start to realize
it's all there, black and white, clear as crystal.
That's right. Black and white, clear as crystal, if I can speak. More of the tantric yogic mudras. We find Hugh Grant here doing what seems to be very innocent, right? Seems like a very peaceful pose. It's known as the Anjali mudra. Namaste, right? It's a sign of greeting. It's benevolent, you know. Or so they say. This one as well, all of your Hollywood celebrities seem to like to do because they're such enlightened spiritual gurus, right? They have ascended the Himalayan mountaintops in search of gurus far and wide and have attained unsurpassed ultimate enlightenment. Samadhi, they have opened up that third eye, right? Good times. Good times. And if you're not convinced yet, here is Mr. Grant with Drew Barrymore on the promotional posters for music and lyrics. And I'm going to give you a moment here. Does anybody notice anything? Anything out of place? It seems like nothing really is happening here. But does anybody see any of the posters behind them? Well, if we zoom in a little bit, we notice that they are not so innocently sitting in front of the Masonic checkerboard. You guys. Here's Hugh Grant on the cover of Talk magazine. Look at that. Do you see what it says there too? The devil in Hugh Grant. And what is Hugh Grant holding in his hands? Right over his genital region, mind you. Well, it turns out it's a bitten apple, a reference to the Garden of Eden, right? Even though the Bible doesn't say that it's an apple, in common culture we've come to realize, or we speak of the forbidden fruit as the forbidden apple, right? Which, you know, while we're at it, we might bring up the fact that Apple, founded by Zen Buddhist Steve Jobs and brother Steve Wozniak of the Freemasons, also has that as their logo. It's an interesting little contraption you have carrying it around in your pocket a lot, wouldn't you say? Interesting piece of technology. What are you talking about, Jeremiah? You're an insane man suggesting such things. 1976. How much did it sell for again?
Tomorrow, Sotheby's is auctioning off this. What is that? Well, it's an Apple I computer. This is the motherboard. They didn't actually have a keyboard or a monitor when this was built. I'll tell you when in a moment. But it does come with the original instruction manuals. I mean, this is pretty amazing. It looks like it's in the 1800s. Anyway, there were only 200 of these computers made, and this is one of the 6 left that actually still work. Now, keep in mind that for the eventual buyer, you're not really going to obviously use this computer. The iPhone is 1,000 times faster. But power isn't what drives price in this case. This is a piece of history. Expected to sell for as much as $180,000, which is a far cry from the $666.66 it sold for back in 1976. Now, Apple's co-founder, Steve Wozniak, has said this price has nothing to do with the devil. It's just repeating digits are easier to cite. I call these
it's just a coincidence.
777, better fight.
Just a coincidence.
Whatever. Anyway, our number tonight is $2,721.44. That's actually the amount of today's dollars, which...
You know, that's enough from her. That reminds me of how Hank Williams III was seen with this particular shirt on. And we'll zoom in here a little bit. Hank Williams III is, of course, the grandson of country music legend Hank Williams Sr., right? Here he is. with the Apple logo equals a satanic pentagram. And of course, you know that Hank III is the son of Hank Jr. Seen here.
I'm just carrying on an old family tradition.
And what's the family tradition, you might say? Well, goat-headed Hank Williams III may or may not be an occultist. I mean, you be the judge. Nice devil horns there, brother. Oh, yeah. I can feel that country music coming on through. And then what do we have next? What do we have? What's coming? To finish us off for the Hugh Grant section of today's nightmarish broadcast, we have the party animal himself, no pun intended, in the leopard print that we've been covering in this particular series. Gosh, who would have guessed that we might find that in all this? That's craziness. Crazy talk. All right, next on the list is Paris Hilton, who is the 20th cousin, of course, of Queen Elizabeth. That's interesting. You know what's coming, don't you? It's the leopard print. Oh, yeah. So Paris is seen here in the leopard print of a beta sex kitten program cult multiple. You know, Timmy?
Is this real life?
Sure is, bud. Sorry to burst your bubble there, buddy. Beta sex kitten programming. Sem priests of Egypt used to wear the leopard skins to do their funerary rites, as well as the pharaoh. It's always been associated with royalty and wealth. Good times. Does she do it again, perhaps? She sure does. In an interesting outfit at that. Any more? Oh, I see. If you're not sure why this is being included, just watch all the other parts of this series, including the just the familial relations portion of it, without the royal family connections. There's about 3 of those videos so far. Incidentally, there's going to have to be a part 3, possibly a part 4 of the royal connections. Heck, it may go on forever. I don't know. Here is Miss Hilton. You know, Hilton Hotels, doing the vow of silence, the sign of Harpocrates. And if you did not know, Harpocrates is the Greek and Roman version of the child Horus, which is why they're always covering up their eyeballs as well, because it's in reference to his eyeball. It's sun worship. Good times. Good times. And Miss Hilton appears to be a Kabbalist. As you can see here on her wrist, she has the red string of someone who would be practicing Kabbalah. That's the heart, by the way. If you read the works of occultists themselves, they will tell you that Kabbalah is the heart of the occult sciences, essentially. And of course, our MK Ultra journey wouldn't be complete without a little bit of Alice in Wonderland, right? They go through something called Alice in Wonderland programming. And good old Hugh Hefner of Playboy, because he wasn't tied down by all those puritanical values that repressed us sexually as a country. Can be seen here in the devil horns, and of course on the left is Paris's sister, Nikki, who we'll see her in another context in a little while, who just so happens to now have married into the Rothschild family. Oh, you guys. I guess Paris and Hugh had quite the friendship over the years, right? I mean, what young blonde isn't interested in 90-year-old dirtbags? Sorry that I said that, but I kind of had to. Did you know that Hugh Hefner's ex-wife and Playboy model Holly Madison wrote a book called Down the Rabbit Hole, exposing secrets about Hugh Hefner and Playboy. Interesting title, Holly. Interesting pose you're doing there on the cover as well, huh? I bet nothing nefarious was happening at Playboy Mansion, right? Here, of course, is Hugh Hefner, who has long been rumored to be a MK Ultra handler, CIA operative, creating beta sex kitten programs or programmed multiples. Can be seen here. It's actually some girl who's standing behind him, helping him out and doing the hidden hand of a Freemason, right? It's cute. It's warm. Makes us feel good inside, doesn't it?
Is this real life?
Yes, your world is a lie. Your world is a lie. The kitty cat, Miss Hilton, can be seen here singing Hugh Hefner Happy Birthday in Marilyn Monroe style. Marilyn Monroe has often been referred to as one of the early models for the MK Ultra program. Let's have a look.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, Mr. Hefner.
She's got the leopard print on, by the way.
Happy birthday to you.
I love you, Hef. You're amazing. You're 80, but you act like you're 20. You look like you're 40. You're hot. Love you.
Yeah.
Happy birthday.
Oh, yeah, he looks 40. 40. Totally. I see it. Don't you? I see it. Spring chicken that Hugh Hefner was. The media sure liked to portray it that way, didn't they? Oh, Hugh Hefner, he's such a playboy. Such the dapper Dan. What about Nikki, her sister? I missed the cue. Yes, Nikki too. Nikki too likes to wear the leopard print of a Sem priestess. Gosh. Seeing themes here. I'm seeing, what's that? What's that? Suicide Boys? Satanic, demoniac, Suicide Boys rap duo? Oh, I guess I don't have them. How is that possible? I see. Apparently I didn't come as prepared as I should for today's broadcast. However, that is a group known as the Suicide Boys. It's nice and uplifting, right? Singing about how Lucifer likes to hide behind the leopard print in a game of hide and seek. Sounds like little kids' games. Interesting. And it's rumored that these things occur to these people in childhood. Interesting. We covered Madonna yesterday. Well, her ex-husband, Guy Ritchie, filmmaker Guy Ritchie, who can be seen here doing the Eye of Horus, of course, is actually sixth cousin of Catherine, Duchess of Cambridge, Kate Middleton herself, seen here, as we've shown you before, doing the vow of silence, the sign of Hippocrates. It's a small world after all. It's really small, right? And Madonna and Guy Ritchie had a son, right? His name is Rocco Ritchie, right? Sure he's much different. He's not carrying, he's not. No. Nope. Absolutely not. Something beast. What does it say there? I can't see it. It's I remembered it earlier, but I can't remember it now. Beast something we go in the pyramid for you. With the good old mommy Madonna in the background. She's a very good mother. Who do we have next on the list? Well, I'll give you a hint before we go. I've been playing this.
God bless America.
And some of you some of you have made guesses in the comments, and none of them have been right at this point. Somebody guessed that was Miley. Of course, we're talking about Canada's own Celine Dion, right? Seen here flashing up the devil horns at one of her concerts while she's singing, you know. I mean, it's original. It's very original. She is ninth cousin of Prince Charles's wife, Camilla, Duchess of Cornwall. Seen here. Seen here. Now you can also see Celine on her tours. Sometimes she likes to flash up the alt-right white supremacist symbol. I'm sorry, I got to give you more credit than that. She's telling you everything's A-okay. Or she's a Satanist, and she's throwing out 3 6s. You be the judge. Oh, there it is again. The sign of success in Hollywood, everyone. Can you read the middle line without straining? Okay. This or that? That or this? Oh, yeah. She keeps the secrets. Celine has a secret, you know. Maybe part of that secret is that she likes to walk on a particular pattern as part of her religious life. Yes. Yes, ladies and gentlemen. We're talking about the Masonic checkerboard of the Freemasons. Thank you, Celine. Thank you. I mean, they may or may not have a hand in the clothing line, which she helps promote. It's called Nunu Clothing, N-U-N-U. And this is one of the promoting gender-neutral clothing to infants and toddlers and young people. So this is a little cutesy little outfit from them. With the little devil horn hat, little beanie hat, you know, and the pentagram, the pentagram outfit. More pentagrams from her. Beautiful clothing line. Beautiful. Now, this is from their Instagram page. So sometimes they, you know, this young child has, has eyeballs on his knees and is covering up his eye. That's cool. You guys are so original. And here's another child that they had on their Instagram, doing a little one-eyed action for you with the skeleton hands. Not creepy. Not creeping at all. And if you're thinking New World Order, if you think new might be something about the New World Order, well, we have a little bit of evidence and clues that might suggest you are correct. This is from their clothing line, New Order, right? You know, and let's hear from not only Celine, the sort of the promotional celebrity behind this powerhouse, because who hasn't been asking outside of Hollywood for the gender neutral pentagram satanic clothing line, right? I mean, sure, it's very popular. Telling us exactly that it's part of a new order.
I'm not here, Celine Dion singer who's got 3 kids, who's going to tell the world right now, you should do it this way, you should not do that, this is wrong. Listen, I'm not doing that. Let them tell you what they feel like.
Fashion has the power to shape people's minds. We're at Celine Nunu trying to shape the future of all human beings by saying, find your own individuality.
We bring a new order as a concept
into the world.
You know what? You don't know what they're going to become later. And you don't want for them to have psychological problem of growth.
Right. No, they're not going to have any psychological problem of growth when they transition from Sally to Kevin. Not at all. Now, she is Canadian. However, this beautiful little picture here, I'm not going to do the God Bless America this time. Well, I might.
My country, 'tis of thee, sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing.
I'm going to do it because it's actually some.
God bless America.
I need a puke bucket. Next on our list, we have Brad Pitt. Brad Pitt. We had Angelina Jolie on recently as well, who's also related to royals. But Brad is as well. He's actually a descendant of King Henry II of England. King Henry II. Right? Of course, you may have noticed that Brad was throwing up the alt-right hate symbol. No, you're a celebrity. And that was before that. No. So everything's okay. Or he's a Satanist, and he's throwing up 3 6s. You decide. I don't know. It's such a mystery, right? Just becoming a mystery. Here he is on the cover of Top magazine. I think that's a Spanish magazine. Doing a little one-eyed winky-dink for us here. Hey, Brad. How you doing? Kind of creepy. But, yeah, nothing new. Nothing new from you or your ilk in Hollywood. I cannot speak today, apparently. Now, what line? Anyway. Brad Pitt can be seen here doing the illustrious sign of Osiris risen, of course, right? Just imagine it. He's got the ankh in one hand and the scepter in the other. He is a modern day resurrected or reincarnated Egyptian pharaoh, right? Just so happens to be a symbol common to Freemasons and Crowley's OTO, which we keep talking about. And of course, Brad also likes to stick his tongue out like a particular Hindu demoness by the name of Kali. I know that a lot of this information is redundant to you all at this point, but we just got to keep on hammering it home for people. Because unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there that still are just fast asleep. It's pretty pathetic. You know that I've been talking a little bit about the different mudras that they throw up. We were talking about how a lot of them go back to Tantra and yoga. And you've heard me mention one called the Uttara Bodhi Mudra. And I've shown you this before in my series on their signs and symbols. Well, it turns out that Brad Pitt is a supremely enlightened master. You know? Duh! You know? But of course, who didn't see that one coming, right? And they all do this, right? They all do this. Ghost Main, there. Marilyn Monroe. Tom Brady. I can't remember. Again. Victoria Beckham. Steven Spielberg. Hugh Jackman. And on and on and on and on the list goes. And perhaps what they're telling you is what Tyler talked about in Fight Club. By the way, Tylers are the guards of a Masonic temple. I'm sure there's nothing in this movie that has anything to do with Freemasonry.
Gentlemen,
no.
Welcome to Fight Club.
Well, thank you.
The first rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. The second rule of Fight Club is you do not talk about Fight Club. Third rule of Fight Club. Someone yells stop, goes limp, taps out. The fight is over. Fourth rule. Only 2 guys to a fight. Fifth rule. 1 fight at a time, fellas. Sixth rule. No shirts, no shoes. Seventh rule. Fights will go on as long as they have to.
Oh, off goes the wedding ring.
And final rule. If this is your first night at Fight Club, you have to fight.
And I made mention of the wedding ring for a reason, right? So there's this man who joined the Freemasons and became a 32nd degree Freemason, and he came out of it as a whistleblower. And his name's John Salza. And let's hear what he has to say about, basically your first degree of initiation in the Brotherhood, the illustrious, beautiful Brotherhood, taking pagan blood oaths.
Salza became a Mason right out of law school. Friends who were Masons told him Masonic contacts would help his legal practice.
There were many attorneys, judges, bankers who were members of the lodge, and me as a young lawyer who was looking to start my career, this would be very beneficial to me.
On a given day, he is summoned to the lodge.
They take you into a small room, and they tell you to strip down. This is where you get a little bit nervous.
Salza tells himself it's just fraternity monkey business, but his anxiety increases as the ritual continues.
They asked me to take off my crucifix and my wedding ring, and my wedding ring. If this is an organization that claims to be encouraging a man to practice his own faith and live this good life as husband and father, why are they asking me to take off my crucifix, a reminder of my faith, and my wedding ring?
Because, John, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's the motto, right? What about Brad? Ta-da! He takes it to a whole new level with the leopard print. Hey, Brad. How you doing there, bud? Are you a royal king? Or perhaps are you someone's toy? And again, I'm not trying to make light of that, but I mean, it just permeates all of the industry. This reminds me a lot of the early photos of Hollywood, from the 1910s, 20s, silent film era to like the 30s. A lot of the old actresses would pose with the actual carcass of a leopard. Who's next? Michael Douglas of The Game. Hey, let's give him a round of applause, everybody. Looking very feminine there, Michael. Over your one eye. Huh? Yes, The Game was all about gang stalking, and I'm sure he knows nothing about that at all. Nightmarish portion of our reality. Anyway, Michael Douglas happens to be a descendant of King Edward III. Interesting. Seen here. We've seen him quite a bit in this series. Well, see, Michael Douglas is a very successful man. And his whole career has been very A-OK, right? So A-OK that sometimes he doubles down on it. Right? He's got to throw up 2 of them just to let you know how good life is going for him. Oh, Michael. Michael, we're such a fan. Oh, man. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Apparently, though, as well, Michael Douglas is also a spiritual man, a very spiritual man. Namaste from Michael, the enlightened Buddha. Thank you, Michael Douglas, for your lovely illustration of the Eye of Horus. Such a sweetheart, isn't he? I wonder if Michael Douglas might be, I don't know, A Freemason, perhaps? I don't know. Is there any clues? Huh. There he is doing the sign of a master of the second veil, the hidden hand of a brother in the illustrious brotherhood of Freemasons, which actually means that he shares something in common with the supreme leader of North Korea, ladies and gentlemen, Kim Jong-un.
Is this real life?
Yeah, it is. It's real life. Who's next? Well, it's just one Jon Snow, Game of Thrones actor. I'm sorry, it's not his name. That's his character name, right? Kit Harington of the Game of Thrones. Well, he just happens to be a descendant of Charles II of England. Charles II of England can be seen here. As a matter of fact, I can see the resemblance. Huh? How about you? Definitely. So here he is. Again, we're going to take it back to yoga and tantra. This is known as the Prana Mudra, and it means wisdom. But it also can be a sign of benediction, right? And you may note that Levi's famous depictions of the Baphomet, the transgendered satanic deity of alchemy, which Satanists the world over have embraced as their own, when he has his arm lifted up, his right arm, he is making this exact mudra with his hand. And on the other hand, he has tattooed coet et coagula, or salve et coagula, which means like absolve and coagulate, right? Order out of chaos, as the Freemasons would say. And guess who has that tattooed on her wrist, by the way? Not a witch, J.K. Rowling, author of the Harry Potter series. Fun fact. Fun facts. We're just full of fun facts over here on this channel. This is something you can eat popcorn to and enjoy some nice old potato chips. Boy, it's so entertaining. Kit Harington may or may not be a Freemason. I mean, he is doing the sign of fidelity in the Brotherhood, but perhaps we can forgive him. He's also a powerful ruler, as he's seen here throwing up the Hakini Mudra, which we've already covered. And of course, Kit Harington likes to hang out with photographer Terry Richardson, right? Good old Uncle Terry Richardson with the classic thumbs up, which we might come to see here in a moment has a little something to do with the phallus. We'll see. Yeah, this Terry Richardson, right? This man right here, who actually got in trouble, kind of Harvey Weinstein style. He must have stepped on the wrong toes for once. And so it was sort of an approved disclosure for the masses to consume for sexually abusing models that would come to him to be photographed. Who'd have guessed? Here he is, the sweetheart himself, in his priest garb with a nun, grabbing him you-know-where. Classy man, classy man. All this talk about Terry Richardson makes me want to go down Terry Richardson memory lane.
Everybody loves the things you do. From
Is
the way
this
you
real
talk to the way you move. And every Everybody here is watching you, 'cause you feel like home. Feel like a dream come true. But if by chance you're here alone, can I have a moment before I go? 'Cause I've been by myself all night long, hoping you're someone I used to know. You look like a movie, you sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. I was so scared to face my fears, 'cause nobody told me that you'd be here. And I swore you moved overseas. That's what you said when you left me. You still look like a movie, you still sound like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. Let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. When we were young, when we were young, when we were young, when we were young. It's hard to win me back. Everything just takes me back to when you were there, to when you were there. And a part of me keeps holding on, just in case it hasn't gone. I guess I still care. Do you still care? It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. My God, this reminds me of when we were young. When we were young, when we were young, when we were young. Oh, let me photograph you in this light, in case it is the last time that we might be exactly like we were before we realized we were sad of getting old. It made us restless. Whoa, I'm so mad I'm getting old. It makes me reckless. It was just like a movie, it was just like a song. When we were young.
Thank you, Uncle Terry, for all the memories. Guys, we're almost through the show today. It's a shorter one. But this is Bill Hader, actor and comedian. And he is a descendant of two very illustrious members, King Edward I of England and Holy Emperor Charlemagne, Holy Roman Emperor Charlemagne. So here's King Edward, and here's Charlemagne, right? And here's Bill Hader throwing up those 3 6s Or is he? No, who cares anymore at this point, right? Here he is throwing up the 3 6s yet again. But that's not all in this photo. As we zoom in, and you may think, oh, you're overdoing it here. But he's actually doing another pose. This is known as the Masonic triad pose. For lack of a better term, we actually don't know what I doubt that anybody out there, aside from those who've been initiated, know the actual technical term for this, but it's what we call it. And many people have observed that it seems to make an M. And you'll see this in a lot of old oil paintings of famous people. And they continue doing it on to the modern day. He also makes his yearly visit to the optometrist. Got to get a new pair of glasses, right? Not funny. Not funny at all. You getting sick of it? I'm very sick of it. Very sick. Well, what's this? Why is this included in today's show? Come on. That's nothing. This is just an SNL promo. He's being funny. He's being pulled at all angles, right? Or, because I have a growing catalog of them doing this one, and it's an occultist favorite, mind you. Why, it's Da Vinci's Vitruvian Man, the human pentagram. Oh, good old human sacrifice. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Now, we were also talking about the Uttara Bodhi Mudra earlier. Supreme Enlightenment, Ultimate Enlightenment. So I found this actually this morning when I was putting this together. Here he is, doing the Uttara Bodhi Mudra pose, letting you know that he is a supremely enlightened individual. Let me go closer in. And he's actually doing a very good rendition of it, because also he's got his thumbs crossed over one another. A lot of times when they do this, we can't see what their thumbs are doing. But again, there are variations where, everybody's not so OCD with this stuff, right? So, that's it. That's all I got for you today. I'm sorry for all the strange errors and glitches at the beginning. I don't know what that was. I'll try to make sure that doesn't happen again in the future. I hope you guys enjoyed this in a morbid sort of way. I hope you found it educational, and I hope you know where we're pointing to. You're going to need Jesus Christ in this life. What I've just shown you and what I keep showing you in these videos is that your world is evil. Very evil. And the same secret societies that were gathering in Ezekiel 8 down beneath the temple of the Lord, facing the east, worshiping the sun, well, they're still around. And they've been running your show, and it's a show, and brainwashing you, misleading everyone. Please ignore the we'll begin the stream shortly message here. Hope you guys have a blessed day.
He who dwells in the shelter of the Most High will find rest in the shadow of the Almighty. I will say of the Lord, He is my refuge, my God and my shield, in whom I trust. Surely He will save you from the foulest snare, and from the deadly pestilence as well. He will cover over you with his feathers. And there under his wings you will find peace. And his faithfulness will be your shield. Not fear the terror of the nighttime, nor the arrow that flies by day, nor the pestilence that stalks in the darkness, nor the plague that destroys at midday. 1,000 may fall at your side, 10,000 may fall at your right hand, but it will not come near you. You will only see, you will only observe when judgment comes. For he commands his angels concerning you to guard you wherever you may go, to be with you and lift you in their hands, so that you won't strike your foot against a stone. Well, if you make the Most High your dwelling, even the Lord who
Okay.
surely no great harm will befall you, no disaster will come there near your home.
Sorry about that.
He commands his angels concerning you to guard you wherever you may go, to be with you and lift you in their hands, so that you won't strike your foot against a stone. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra, and trample upon the serpent's head. You will tread upon the lion and the cobra, and trample upon the serpent's head.
God bless you guys in Jesus' name. You guys have a wonderful day. Until next time.